Morning, Steve Freed in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, it's cloudy and gloomy here in Chicago, and overnight volume was pretty light. Yesterday we had some pretty big selling by the funds after the USDA came out and raised September U.S. and world crop numbers and raised carryouts. The market continues to think that assuming that harvest yields for corn and beans here in the United States confirm the USDA numbers and actually increase, that prices will continue to drift lower. When we look at the S&Ds for corn, the 4-bushel increase the USDA did from August to September crop report is the largest since 2004. That year they actually added another 11 bushels to the final crop number. So most people are using a carryout now closer to 2.3 billion than the government's 2 billion, which suggests that number one, prices should go lower, but number two, there's not much chance for a bounce. In the beans, most people are adding another, let's say, 80 million bushels to the crop size because of the increase in September. And that could put the carryout closer to something over 500 million bushels. But at the same time, they're adding demand, especially on the export side. Overnight, the beans are up a little bit in the nearby, and there might be some Chinese pricing that happened after the weaker trade yesterday. So I think bean prices also are vulnerable to go lower, especially if we have harvest yields that are at or better than what the USDA is suggesting. Over the week, there's too much wheat in the world, and some people are actually lowering demand numbers here in the United States from a feed standpoint and increasing the carryout. And a few are even looking ahead to 2015 and 16 and suggesting a normal U.S. wheat crop will increase the wheat carryout here in the United States closer to 900 million bushels, which also would be negative to prices. From a weather standpoint, it wasn't quite as cold last night in the extreme northwest part of the Midwest. We're still looking for cold temperatures this weekend, but we don't think that they'll cause any major problem to crops. Number two, from a weather standpoint, we've got rains in the western Corn Belt. They'll move across the central Midwest tonight, cooler temperatures, but next week we're looking for warmer temperatures and drier conditions, which should help crop maturation and also the harvest pace. So in general, we're looking for lower prices as long as the actual harvest yields for corn and beans are justified by what the USDA is saying and maybe getting a little bit bigger. As always, these are my thoughts, not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.